Okay.
We're live now.
Oh, could have warned me a little
Sorry.
more in the future. That's okay. Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Altera, headquarters of the Mad Capitalist. I'm your host and games master for the evening, James Robertson, and joining me this evening, what in the world? It's Ben playing as Pizzazz, the gnome wizard.
Yep.
Where the heck are we? Bob
I don't
playing
know.
as Lanwar the Furbolg druid. When can I kill some Celestials? It's Neil playing Dion the Half-Orc Ranger.
Hey!
Why do I hear screaming? TR plays Glack, the Green Kobold Monk Cleric. And who's the daddy? Alex may be joining us, playing as Belnin, the half-elf monk bard sorcerer. But he obviously has prior engagements, family matters to deal with. So we're just going to push on as best we can without him. When last we left our intrepid band of heroes, they had come together after spending a year in demi-retirement in Sigil, the capitalistic city of doorways, starting businesses, seeking treasures, and hunting for sport. And who says this game's a far cry from real life? Anyway, the party each reached roadblocks in their plans and needed the help of most of their old friends, except for Junkrat, their cybernetically enhanced kobold artificer friend, whom none of them had seen in that full year, and whom they supposed was either enjoying retirement or had blown themselves up. Dion had received death threats, and so some of the group followed him to the site of his last hunt, a labyrinth deep beneath the city, hoping to find some clues, but only getting chased deeper into the maze by an undead Garistro. A taunting voice which proclaimed Dion his enemy left a trail of breadcrumbs to guide the party into the depths of the maze, and after some narrow escapes from some time-locked crystal angels, gambling at a secret short races fight club, only halflings, gnomes, kobolds, and goblins allowed, they came to a puzzle. Two black holes in the wall ahead. The ever-present voice told the group that one hole led to a boon, an antidote to the neurotoxin they'd been infected by early in the maze, while in the other there was only a bane. They would lose something dear if they rooted in there. Bellman thrust his hand into one of the holes, feeling a clamping on his wrist as his hand was shorn completely off. Worse still, as he fell back, he saw a loping, hooded figure crawl from the dark sphere and advance on him, its eyes a cold void of darkness. And we pick up right there, going straight into the action. We've already rolled initiative ahead of time. It would be Belnin, but he's surprised. So Glack, you watch as Belnin, your monk friend, some would say stupid, has thrust his hand into a dark hole in the wall and then fallen backwards, yelling in pain and sort of pouring itself out of this hole.
Run, I have an idea.
This tall, gaunt, Dementor-like figure, essentially. You are 40-odd feet away. What do you do? What are you doing?
Well, taking a quick look, like, ooh, that's a hand gone. I can't do anything about that. But I pull out my trusty dagger, my
Yep.
brand new trusty dagger I haven't had a chance to use properly yet. The
Ah,
dagger of the sticky stooge, and I'm going to cast its spell, which is web.
I see. Excellent. So, where are you? If you just want to draw on the map where you're anchoring it. Let me see. 22 cubes.
Going to try and get.
Is it just
up the ceiling?
so you're casting it on the hole?
The hole, and hopefully trying to keep the thing half in, half out.
Well, the hole's only that big for dramatic effect. It's actually only 2 foot wide.
Then wherever the creature is, I'm casting it on him and his surrounding area. Because I cannot see him on the map.
That's it there.
Oh, fair enough. Well then.
Yeah, if you want to move your thing. Let me just.
I am trying. It is not working, so I'm just going to draw another one. There you are.
There we go. That's fine. It needs to roll a save of some description.
Dex needs to be a 15.
Alrighty. It's got +3. Ba-ba-bum. Ooh,
Ooh.
Hey!
there we go. So you watch as, and this would actually cast Bellman in it too, because it's so close to the wall. I'm afraid. Alex isn't here, so we're just gonna roll for him. Yeah, a 19 makes it. Don't know why I rolled with the advantage there. So you watch as Bellman twists in midair, hearing your spell be called out, fired from the dagger, and you launch this massive viscous webs at this hooded, gaunt figure, and it just barely encases this creature. However, as it makes contact with the wall, you can see where it sort of impacts the hole. Bits of it begin to sort of shear away and fly into the hole, almost feeding it somewhat. And you're horrified to realize that as more of your webs sort of get sunk into this hole, it seems to expand just ever so slightly. But the Bodak is restrained.
Get away from there, get away from there, get away from there. You hear across the headpiece.
And I will just move a little bit down here.
All right. Any bonus actions? Astral Self? Or...
No. I will wait and see what's happening.
Okay. Lan. Oh, yeah, it's Lan.
All right. I'm going to move. 5, 10, 15, 20, 30. Let's everyone get to the hole, and I'm going hold an action to cast a spell.
Okay. What's the trigger?
Once everyone's safely 50 feet away from up there.
Okay. I should say, for those of you watching, the yellow sort of large sphere in the middle is an orb of daylight, which is that concentration, Bob?
Yes.
So it would drop right now. I'm so glad I spent time putting that there. As you hold your spell, that would drop, just so you're aware.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do that. Still
So
hold my action.
So as Lanwar, you begin to weave this spell in midair, conjuring just flowery saints in midair. Your light source of the room goes out, and you just hear from the northern end of this room a terrible sort of rasping, sucking sound of like a death rattle as the Bodak. Yeah, I'm afraid it has no choice. Yeah, it's going to. Well, yeah. I tell you what, it's going to yowl something in Abyssal. Does anyone understand Abyssal?
Nope.
I don't.
I think Pizzazz does. Hang on, let me just double check.
Hmm.
Checking. Well,
Yes, I do. Pizzazz does.
Yes. So those of you who understand Abyssal here. Divine all seas. And to your horror, falling out of the hole is another of these creatures. Similarly tall and gaunt. And it seems to be able to launch itself through the hole that the web that has been created in the web. the other one has to use an action, which is an athletics check, isn't it? To break out. Strength check. So that's +2. So 14 again. So just failing once more to break out of these webs. This one moves 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. It sees. Does it go for the one? Yeah, it's going to have to go for the person who is casting a spell. So, Lanmar, could you make a Constitution saving throw, please?
Okay.
As just it turns these massive eyes towards you. These eyes that are just seemingly empty and devoid, just darkness, like the spheres. But you can make out just the tiniest sort of swirling of almost galaxies moving within them. Mesmerizing.
Oh my god.
All right.
Ow.
Cool.
Hey, wasn't it wisdom one? Even at my worst. Just...
So you take 17 points of necrotic damage as you just gaze into this thing's eyes and you feel a part of your essence just fly out of your body, just withering you slightly. I'm going to need a Constitution saving throw to maintain concentration on your spell. DC 10.
Make it better.
Yeah.
When
so it's fine. So you feel your life essence being drained away, but you grit your teeth, you sink your hooves, claws. What the furbogs? Are you wearing shoes? You grind your feet into the ground of the maze, and you just maintain concentration on your spell there.
I assume he's wearing Crocs. I don't know why, just Crocs.
Crocs made of
Crocs.
Yeah, Crocs made of banana leaves, maybe, or bamboo, something like that. Yeah, classic Robin Williams in Jumanji costume. As its bonus action, it activates that. All right. So up next, it's Pizzazz.
Right.
Remember, you've got my warnings to move away from there.
Yeah.
So this creature, about 30 feet away from you now, just turns and sort of looks in all of your directions, just turning its face into each of you, howling as it does so. Just this sucking death rattle. What do you do?
Shall we run to the granny cottage?
I mean, at this point, I'm gonna cast Ray of Frost at it.
Okay. As
just
you
to see what
turn,
it would do.
as you turn to look at it, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
On save, thank you. 21.
Yeah, perfect. So you take instead 20 points of necrotic damage.
Okay, I'm resistant to that, so I'm going to take 10.
Yep, 10 points of necrotic. As you just feel dread fill you.
Okay.
As you look at this thing and you just see your own demise.
Oh, it's less dice.
Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna cast my Ray of Frost at it then.
Yep, go for it. Roll to hit.
For a 17 to hit.
17's gonna hit.
And 14 cold damage.
Alright. You watch as the icy shards seem to deflect over some of its cloak. Make me a quick Arcana check. I'll let you do this since you're a necromancy wizard, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
29.
Yeah, you realize this thing is an undead, and you would probably guess it's somewhat inured to the cold.
Okay.
But it did take some of that damage.
Cool. Free action, I shout, "It's undead! Anyone got radiant damage?" And
Groovy.
that'll be my turn.
Dion.
Oh, actually, I'll move.
Yeah, quite wise. As your party have scattered away from this undead creature, Dion, it is advancing on you. It's only about 20 feet from you. What are you doing?
Well, I was planning to
Lanwar
move
is Lanwar's
30
heading for the
feet.
tunnel.
towards Lanwar.
Do you glance over your shoulder at it before you, or
No, I've heard enough from the rest of the party.
so you're averting your gaze essentially
Yes.
from it for this turn? Okay. So you move 30 feet, which is 6 squares. If you want to just move yourself, are you making any actions? Are you dashing? Dodging? What sort of thing are you doing?
I'll hold an action to dodge.
Well, you don't have to hold
Dodge
that
is-
action. You can just dodge
I'll dodge.
instead. All right, go for it. That's Bellman again. Well,
Belden will have got the warning too, because I said that for the headset.
yeah, but he does need to make a con save. Okay, so he succeeds. He takes a sundry amount of necrotic damage. Disengages and runs away, still holding his bleeding stump of a hand.
You mean he's not bled out yet?
I mean, he does take more damage. I'm going to roll for it now. And he takes 3d10 as well because he started his turn there. So he takes another 30 damage. He's looking a bit bloodied. Just purely from being around this thing and running away from it. If he doesn't get some medical attention quite soon, you get the sense he might not have long. He is missing his full hand, and it's just shorn completely off at the wrist. It's quite something. You've never seen a cut so clean before, not even on a guillotine.
I was going to say,
Galak.
at least it's a clean cut.
Yeah.
Would he not use the key point to get further away?
To
To get closer to me? Knowing I'm a
tell you
healer.
what, he's probably keeping well clear of these Bodaks, so he could get to probably about there. Glak, he's right beside you now. It's your turn. You're on deck.
Yep, I'm going to charge to within 10 foot
Oh god.
Okay.
of this guy.
Wait, mind what? Can I do something just because it would have went off before he moved? Because my trigger was when everyone's safely far enough away.
Yep. Move yourself back there, please.
Yep.
You got to remember those, Bob. Go for it. What's your spell?
You should know. You heard what I was going to pick earlier.
Yes, but the audience didn't. So.
Reverse gravity.
Aha. So 50-foot radius.
So everyone's outside the 50 radius. I'm focusing it more at the top corner so that it's not gonna get any of us.
They aren't anchored to the ground. There is no fixed object within reach except for the holes. So that one, that one's covered in webs. So that one's fine because it's lashed to the wall. This one has no chance and flies. Bodak 2 flies up. What is it, 100 feet? Yes. There we go. So it just flies away. It's now 100 feet up in the air.
Have
Okay.
fun.
Yeah. A couple of small, like, sand, it's pebbles and some sand, the stuff that's sort of been ground underfoot your entire time through this maze goes flying up there with it.
Don't
And you just
step
hear
in
this
there.
sort of this sort of unearthly shriek of just a creature flying away.
Don't step in that circle.
Yeah, it's a good move. That's yeah. Do you want to put on the map where that is, please? Just sort of freehand it. It's fine.
Right.
Meanwhile, Glack will continue with your turn.
Okay, if that guy is gone, what I will do is I will head down. There I am. Down this way instead. And then I will look towards that guy and I will Sacred Flame him.
Which one? The restrained one?
Yeah, the one in the web.
All right.
Which is a dex save, which I think you automatically fail.
Being restrained.
Attack rolls have advantage. Creatures disadvantage on dex save, sorry.
Cool. So
Get sort of like that.
Cool. Except it's a sphere.
Yeah.
So rolls a 10. So yes, takes 11 points of radiant damage. And seems to take all of that, in fact. It hisses at you and looks to be, quite understandably miffed by the whole situation. Bellman.
Give it the finger.
As soon as it comes out that web, it's going up.
You
could set fire to the web.
Bellman, what are you doing?
Is Alex here yet?
No. Bellman, it's yourself.
Yeah, down on is Alex.
You're meaning pizzazz.
Oh, Bob. It's Bob.
Or me, because I've got Land War, and I've got.
Put your name on the turn tracker. Goodness sake.
Sorry,
Bob. It's yourself. It's someone whose name begins with B. There you go.
Okay.
Jesus.
Guess I'm just gonna. Actually, I have some. I can do whilst I'm here. I will use my Balm of the Summer Court. I think Alex is within range of me doing that one.
What's the range of it?
120 feet. So he's definitely within the range.
Alright.
I will spend 4 charges. And that will be... He will get 4 temp hit points, and I will... a bunch of d6s to heal him too.
Yep. Cool. That's, I believe, a bonus action. Are you doing anything with your main action?
Holding concentration on the spell. And
Alright.
And telling everyone, move to this portal.
Understandable.
And you get 16 hit points back.
Okay. With that, his stump hand seals over, but the hand does not regrow.
I could do something about that later.
He's got 4 temp hit points.
If he survives, and if you survive.
Oh no, it's fine. There's a cylinder. Unless anyone essentially wishes to attack these things, you can run for the Granny Smith portal, as I've called it. Imagine Bellman shakes his one remaining fist at the sky. Eventually, do you want to drop concentration or hold it for the full minute? Because eventually it falls. Because it says here at the end of the duration, affected objects and creatures fall back down.
I will hold it until I feel that everyone's safely through the portal. And
right.
If that other one manages to break out the web, it'll go flying up.
Oh no, it's gonna head back into its home. It didn't. It didn't reckon for someone using 7th level spells.
Like,
Because
screw
I didn't,
this.
quite frankly. Yeah, because they're not stupid. Anyway, you all rush for the portal. You get inside, and as you look back out, Lanwar, you drop concentration. The Bodak sort of Scooby Doos for a second, running in midair before it goes.
Splat.
Do you want to roll the 10 dice 6 damage, or shall I?
Was it 10?
10 dice 6, yeah. As we switch back to the maze.
Roll.
Very little damage, in fact. Sadly. But you have made it into the hole, and as you sort of gather around the entrance of it, sort of making sure that you're not, being followed in, nothing seems to follow you in. It seems like either the creatures out there can't get into this place, or they don't.
They're just gonna wait for us to come back
they,
out.
They just haven't, yeah. You seem to be safe for the moment.
That
As you look around
looks
the area
pretty
you're
nasty,
in,
Belnan.
Bellman says something pithy. Quite
Something
frankly,
like no shit.
yeah, no shit. Yes, but the room you're gathered in now, it's it's cozy. There's sort of chintz armchairs. There's as I mentioned last week, there's a sort of table that's it's got a bottle of whiskey on it. There's one glass on one sideboard. There is another sort of carving of a mug, and that's pretty much it. Really, there's a fireplace. It's wallpapered, which is quite unusual. The whole place, it's not what you'd expect to find in a place like this, in a maze like this. It by all accounts shouldn't exist. There's no reason for it to be here, but you're magic users, so you reason it was probably created by magic.
Can we see outside of the hole?
You cannot. As you entered this area, it was like passing through a veil that's kind of silk, kind of velvety material, but at the same time kind of almost rubbery, like you were sort of squeezing your way through a skin or a membrane of some material. But no, as you look back out, you can't see out of it. It's like a shimmering sort of field. As you sort of stick your hand back out, you can easily exit if you wished. But
yeah, but everything's how it should be.
Yeah, you're all still in one piece, except for obviously Bellman, who's missing a hand. What would you like to do? You're in this room.
Does anyone have regenerate?
No.
Not right now. I had something a bit more powerful used earlier. If I had time to rest, which we do not have, I believe we have too little time to do anything for me to prepare a new spell. But they said that there was some cure, or one cure at least, in this room somewhere.
I mean, I assume it's the whiskey.
I mean, if we can find it, I can maybe test it a little bit to see what's in it, at least, before someone tries to drink it. Make sure it's not some poisonous thing that's going to make us even worse?
Yeah.
Well, give it to
I'm
Belnan first.
Yeah, I'm sure it's absolutely possible we could all end up in worse shape than we are right now. Belnan says as he waves his stump in the air. It wanders into the room and sits on the armchair. As he sort of makes his way past the threshold, the sort of rug that's in here, the magic mouth over the sideboard activates and says, "Well done, welcome to my little humble home. In the beaker there, in the decanter, you will find the liquid form of one and only one antidote to the neurotoxin. Only one of you may have it."
Like it says, I would rather see that it's not some worse poison. I don't think a few drops of it being taken to test in my thing's going to affect how effective it's going to be.
Mm.
So can I do a check with my
Alchemy supplies?
yes.
If you want to take the hour and spend a short rest in here while you do that, you can. But you are aware you're on a bit of a time crunch.
Mm-hmm. How much have we spent already, or how much is my owl shenanigans cost us?
It actually saved you time. I believe.
Well, you know what I mean.
You've been, yeah, I believe you've been in the maze for, is it 5 hours? I think it was 5. We'll call it 5. It might have been 4 or 6, but let's split the difference and say 5. So you've got 3 before the apparent effects, as you've been taunted this whole time, become clear or become worse than what they currently are.
So do you want me to check this beforehand, or does someone just straight up want to drink it?
I mean, some of us are immune to poison, Bellman pipes up. So if it is poison, I don't know.
I just really don't want to see you get any worse. So I'm suggesting not you to drink.
I'm immune to poison as well.
Well, I was going to suggest Dion do it because we're all here because of him.
I have protection from poison.
Well, then even better.
I mean, I can do a detect magic, see if there's any, like, it brings up anything for the antidote in here, or whatever we're looking for.
So, no testing it, just checking it with detect magic. What's people's thoughts on this? I mean, I don't want to take up too much time.
Well, I've got scrolls of detect magic, so I won't ritual cast. I'll just cast it.
Okay. You want to cast that, and I'll not bother with checking it if it's going to cost us an hour.
Yeah, so I'll drop a scroll of detect magic.
Groovy. You see that most of this area is suffused with that same sort of magic that you felt out in the maze. The liquid in the vial definitely appears magical. It sort of glimmers with what would it be? Probably abjuration magic, I imagine it would be. The magic mouth's magic is spent for the moment, but it looks like it's on a recharging cycle. As you look around, roll me an investigation check, as well as the detect magic.
Investigation. 16.
Yeah, so you move around the place, and you know it's cozy. You lift up the rug, you check behind the doors of the sideboard. There's nothing else that's sort of magic in this place. Then when you examine the bottle more closely, and you realize there's a different kind of magic, like a distinct separate signal coming from like the base of the bottle, or maybe the table itself.
Okay.
It seems to be suffused with abjuration as well, but also something else. Perhaps a different school.
I cast Mage Hand and pick up the bottle.
Damn, yeah, I forgot about Mage Hand.
Yes.
Yes, you lift up the bottle, and as you do, you watch these sort of black flames almost lick up the sides of the bottle. The liquid inside begins to bubble and activate, and with your detect magic, you see it glow more potently, as if a heartbeat is vibrating inside. And then a secondary magic mouth, which was perched on the bottom of the bottle, activates and says, "I see you fell for my trap. I'm very disappointed in you, Dion."
Dion wouldn't fall for the trap. He's got trap. He's got.
Yes.
The magic mouth remains silent, but you appear to have bypassed this thing. With your detect magic again, you'd realize that this was necromancy magic,
Right.
so probably something quite nasty. But the liquid inside appears to have activated.
So is it still giving off abjuration?
Yes, it's like it's more potent now as well. It's sort of humming, vibrating slightly, and the bottle is smoking.
What do you guys think? Should I throw it?
Can I make a sort of just a quick glance at it to see if I can figure out if, with my making of potions, if that is indeed something that maybe he should throw?
Are you proficient in nature? Just out of interest.
Yes.
Cool. With your proficiency in nature, your alchemist supplies, the fact that you make potions regularly, you're aware that some potions have special triggers, like brew under the light of the full moon for like 24 hours, or cast a lightning bolt to activate the material within. Yeah, that sort of thing. It's not just pour stuff into a cauldron and stir it. It's not like it's not like making soup. There's an element of magic involved in it. It looks like the potion itself has just been sort of magically triggered.
I think the potion's just been triggered, so I think it's active now. I still don't know what it does without actually testing it.
Yeah.
So I'm not entirely sure what.
I mean, if it's necrotic,
it might be worse.
Yeah. I mean, I'm resistant to necrotic damage, so.
I mean,
still hesitant to make you drink it.
Would you put an antidote anywhere if you were trying to hunt your greatest enemy?
No.
I
can test
I'm not going to drink it then.
We can maybe take it and I can test it later and see what the hell he was going to do to us.
Does the bottle have a stopper on
it? It has a crystal stopper that was sort of sitting alongside the bottle.
So it's not actually in the bottle itself at the moment?
It's not. There's smoke pouring over the edge of it. Which, as you take longer and longer to sort of decide, as your mage hand just continues to hold it here, the smoke is gradually slowing down, and with your detect magic, you can see that it's like the sort of pulsing in the bottle is slowly beginning to fade.
While it's still pulsing, I'm going to pour a little bit onto the table, see what it does.
Okay. Nothing happens. to
Anyone?
the table nor the bottle.
Anyone fancy licking that up?
Can I?
If only you had a ghoul or a bird.
Oh, come on, Raven. Yeah, come on, Raven. Get me.
Sorry, could you repeat that? I didn't quite catch it.
I've got my Raven still, so I can feed a little bit of it to that.
Raven's gonna lick it.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Instruct my Raven to lick the little puddle of potion.
Okay, it does so, and it's just like a face spirit, isn't it? You're
Yeah.
familiar. Yeah. So nothing seems to happen as the raven licks it up. It looks at you and shrugs, in as much as a bird can shrug.
Just cocks its head to the sides.
I'm hesitant to spend any more time here fiddling about with the potion.
I just
able to do any tests on the puddle.
I can test it later.
Alright.
Put a stopper in it and.
So with my mage hand, I'll put the bottle onto the table, grab the stopper, put it in there, then still using my mage hand, pick it up again and put it into my bag of holding.
All right, you do so.
I'll test that later to find out what it is.
I'm
just
also
going to poke his head out the hole just to see if the creatures are still there or not.
As you poke your head out the hole, you see a dark corridor leading in either direction. The webs have since gone. The Bodaks are no longer there. It's just a long hall. The darkness of the maze going on and on and on. You look overhead, you see the starry sky that you'd seen before. There's nothing but a faintly whistling wind moving down these corridors now.
Is this
Certainly no movement.
We are killing this person, aren't we?
Oh yes, we are.
Because
I mean, do you want to kill them? They are your greatest enemy.
Yes.
I very much want to kill them.
I insist
and
you
it will
kill.
happen.
I insist you kill this one. I have never been more annoyed. Even in Junkrat's most annoying of states, I have not been more irritated by one person in my life.
You're annoyed. He's taunting me.
Alright. So should we move on from this room then?
Yes.
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 All right. You make your way silently and stealthily back out.
No, touch the other sphere.
So we head south? Or
Yeah,
should we...
Yeah.
Do you have some more owls?
I think I have some more owls.
I mean, I don't want to waste an hour, but at least if we send them out in front.
Yeah, follow behind them.
Yeah.
Heading south from here or south from one of the other corridors?
I got 1/3 level left, so I can do. I will summon the owl squad back into existence, and they'll they will help. They will help with their good perception and the sort of. I'll send a couple off to scout other places, but generally there's going to be like two or three with us, just to sort of keep an eye on front and behind us.
All right. After some time, we'll say only about 20 minutes, you reach this level of clearance. Just a sec. There we go. Because you are making your way slowly throughout the maze.
Okay, well, that would report this is a kind of a dead end where we were going that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're going to have to follow back your string.
Double back a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You double back, and at the end of about half an hour or so. So this is another time chunk has passed, and you're in that sort of corridor there. There's a way open to your east or to the south. To the west, there is only a dead end that you know of.
I'll use what little time I've got left with owls to have them look sort of both directions.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And
I'd forgotten that you still had a fucking couple with you. God damn it. It's fucking owls. It's such a great idea.
Owls,
if
search squadron.
Yeah, if the Argonauts had fucking owls with them, Jesus. So that's a way that you open up, and that's a way that you open up. So you get, with the last sort of while, and smoothing stealthily on, there is this sort of apparent thoroughfare. There we go.
That's probably not quite the last I can do that, but I would start burning larger spells to do anything.
Yeah, let's not do that. I'm gonna send my Raven, because that's still alive, down this corridor and walk through it.
Just walk through it.
Warg, like in
warg through it. Okay.
Warg.
What is it? No? Okay.
Absolutely nothing.
You send your Raven down this corridor, and after some time, just sort of sitting there in the darkness waiting, and you begin to hear pounding footsteps once more. As you see the familiar undead Minotaur.
Yeah. Minotaur's down there. Run the other way.
As your Raven begins to flap back towards you, it roars, and you all hear this. It is about 500 feet from you, so you can't just snap it back to you.
Okay, I'm not.
Yeah, it's within 100 feet, I believe, for snapping it back to you. Though I could be wrong. It could be 1,000.
I think it just says as an action. Let me just double check.
Yeah, if you could real quick. But it is going to charge down that tunnel because it hears a pulse. It senses a living thing, so it's going to run down this way.
As an action, you can temporarily dismiss your familiar. It doesn't say a range on it. It just says a range where it reappears. The 100 feet is the controlling it, essentially.
Okay. That's interesting. Yeah, then temporarily dismiss. And you can cause it to reappear. Yeah. No, so as you watch as the undead Minotaur charges down the maze towards your familiar, you suddenly go, nope, and bamf it away. But it charges straight ahead, looking round, unsure of where this small creature went. It looks both ways, and then it spots your party.
Okay.
And bellows again.
Let's move.
Do we want to
Run,
take it on, or do we want to run?
I'm going to
We run.
I'm transforming into. I'm going to use one of my transformations and turn it an eagle. Let's test how badly the flying's affected. If it's this magical or natural flying.
A giant eagle,
Yes.
which is a CR1, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I need you to roll me a D10, please.
Okay.
As you feel your innate magical ability from being a druid pulse through your veins, you feel also something in the back of your mind that it must be that neurotoxin.
A 4.
And instead you change into a giant hyena. So as you will yourself to sprout wings, you just feel a stabbing pain right behind your eyes, and your concentration slips but for a second, and
Okay.
you wind up on all fours.
A giant hyena and the CR1 as well.
Yes.
For
The rest of you, Lanwar has just become this giant dog-like creature. Reminds you of a gnoll.
oh, it's right.
Um,
It's right under the eagle. That's
Yes.
bad. That's bad.
It's next alphabetically, yes.
Yeah.
So you change into this giant hyena. What's everyone else doing, real quick?
Oh, I'm jumping on a hyena now.
Yep, yeah. It's I
Right.
believe, a large creature. So absolutely.
And powerful build.
Black is not a big boy.
Yeah.
2'5".
You jump on the sort of the scruffy part of its neck. If you've ever seen a hyena, it's got that sort of
Yeah.
grizzled kind of mane, so that when it gets attacked by other hyenas or even lions, it's got real thick hair there to stop its neck from being torn apart. You just jump in there, you weave your little claws in there, and you grip tight
Nestle
with your
in there.
thighs, and you just buck it forward. Go on, hyena. Everyone else, Belnan obviously leaps on as well, and with holding on with one hand, still cradling his stump.
I'm grabbing behind its tail.
You grab its tail. Oh God.
I'm glad I've got powerful build for carry weight.
And Dion, what about yourself?
I'm assuming we're going round the corner and taking the other corridor.
You can assume what you like, my friend. But this thing seems to point towards your group and says, this would be Abyssal. So
Who speaks Abyssal?
who speaks
Who's
Abyssal?
Pizzazz?
It's just Tink again, wasn't it?
Pizzazz,
Pizzazz,
yeah.
rather. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
It says, "You killed me," and it scrapes the ground with its rotting hoof and begins charging.
Dion, apparently you killed it.
As you run away round the corner.
At 50. 50.
So actually moving pretty much at the same speed. But you're just bounding away now. There is very little attention being paid to where you're going, but it's just a straight shot up this corridor for the next 200, 300 feet. You round a corner. There are two ways to go. Do you go straight ahead or turn off to your right?
I'm letting the people pull me in whichever direction because I can't really speak as a hyena right now. Unless we're still allowed to speak mentally.
No, I'd say probably right, so we could try and get round a corner.
Yeah, I would have
Makes
gone
more
up the
sense.
way as well.
It does make a fair amount of sense. You dash to the right, you dash around corners here and there and everywhere. The hyena, the sound of it, the heavy breathing and the roaring, almost, well, not directly behind you, still at like a couple hundred feet, but it is there. It does seem to be charging after you, almost out of instinct more than its labyrinthine recall. There's a thing to the right and one to the left.
And when I did fire damage to it earlier on, did it look like it took all the damage?
It looked like it took some of the damage.
Okay.
Usually they are immune, you would know, having fought countless demons before. But it still seemed to take some damage. It looked like its undead form only had resistance to the fire rather than outright immunity.
And necrotic probably won't do much to it as it's already undead.
Thinking dead end down her.
Actually.
Yeah, say
Hmm.
left.
Who knows?
While
Left.
if it's about 200 feet behind us,
Mhm.
my chill touch currently has a range of 240 feet. So
All right. Would have reached there.
I'll be constantly casting that.
Casting chill touch every time you
Say
see
what?
it.
Yeah. roll me an attack roll. We'll see if you get lucky.
It's a save.
Ah. Okay.
It is a
Then roll me a d20 to see how lucky we are. That you grab onto it. Roll me a luck roll.
12.
12? Yeah, that's good enough to, we'll say you can get one of them. So it rolls a con save.
It's got disadvantage on it.
It's got disadvantage because it's undead.
Undead.
Yeah. However, I think that's quite a lot. What's your DC there for me?
DC is 18.
18. It doesn't have... Oh, wait. Hold on. It does. It has plus quite a bit. That's a 19, I'm afraid.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah,
no,
you...
Sorry, I was looking at the wrong thing. It is a attack roll, sorry.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, roll your attack then for me, please. You managed to hit it once, or managed to get it. It manages to get in range of your attack once.
Not doing it on the sheet, so very frost up saying damage. Or saying dice
Oh
damage.
shit! Look at that. This is how we do it.
Just
Yeah, you watch as this thing sort of it crystallizes over its entire body, and it seems to slow it down somewhat.
That would be necrotic damage rather than cold damage, because like I said, I've not got it on the sheet, but it's the
All
same
right.
dice damage.
Okay. It does seem to take some of that. It grips around its form, and you watch as it shudders and seems to shrink away slightly, but just for a moment, leaving you this opportunity to dash one way or another, possibly confusing it into going one way or t'other. Which way do you go? North or south?
I say north.
Yeah, go north.
North.
Yeah.
As you head in that direction,
Oh,
you can.
no.
No, it's fine. What's up?
I can
Yeah, you're
see
fine.
a name.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Damn! Damn!
You can see a name, can't see what it actually says.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's fine. You head in that direction, and you don't notice it until you're too late. Lanwar, even with your incredible perception, your powers of perception in this form, you're just focused on running away, getting your party away from this terrible, terrible, fate of death behind it. That you don't notice the seam running around this sort of cavern way.
So you're saying my 25 passive perception is null and void right now?
You're a hyena.
I'm not saying it's null and void. I'm saying your survival instincts
What about
kick in.
Pizzazz? Doesn't he have a ridiculous passive perception? Or is it Glack?
17.
Oh, it's Glack.
It's
Glack. We've got what was
No.
not
It's
Well,
peace.
Yep.
not piece of the puzzle. God damn it! I
Well,
thought we had the super second.
Many.
Hey.
There's too many.
Hold on.
Too many characters to remember who's got the ridiculous perception of besides me.
Many people have ridiculous perception. But you don't notice until it's too late. Just you fall. The entire sort of panel swings and hinges down on itself, splits up the middle, and you all find yourself falling. You don't know how far, but it seems simultaneously for a very short time and for a very long time. And as you look around, you realize you see very little but the blackness. You look back up and you see the trapdoor, still open. You're just... It's like you're falling for eternity. You don't see the bottom. The top doesn't seem to be getting much farther away. Maybe slightly, but it could just be your imagination.
So all you're
There
going
is-
to hear is some bad hyena laughing as we're falling.
Great. So as you fall, you're just hearing terrifying voices. You would all fall in the middle there. Llanowar is currently large. What do you do? After a while, you just seem to be floating there. The novelty of falling has worn off somewhat.
I start,
just-
start trying
just-
to walk.
Yeah. You sort of will yourself to move. You don't really walk. It's more like you sort of move sideways. And you do. You just sort of move sideways.
Hmm.
How far do you go?
Well, I've currently got a couple of people on my back, one holding my tail, and I think Dion's just was running with
Oh.
us.
No, I'll say pretty much everyone would have fallen off, except for Glack, who was pretty deeply nestled in there.
Yeah, I will sort of look at Glack having shimmied a little and seen that I moved, and
Yeah.
kind of. Am I allowed to use the telepathic link, or is it just straight up because I'm being...
I'll say sure. Why not?
I sort of moved there. Should we move somewhere? Which direction? I don't know.
Down?
Down?
As you think down, you can't really feel yourself moving down. It's a really weird feeling as well.
I just learned how to control gravity not that long ago. Oh, this is... anyone else got an idea? You hear for the headpiece.
You...
Shunt.
Oh, that was over the earpiece.
I
Never mind.
will shunt sort of left a little bit, like 10 feet to the left or something.
10 feet?
Yeah.
Alright, you move 10 feet. You still seem to be in that sort of wind tunnel effect almost.
Can Glack jump off his back and go like 30 feet, swimming through the air?
Yeah, you can.
Full proper Victorian style breaststroke.
Which one are you? Are you this one here?
No, I am this one there.
Alright, yeah, move yourself whatever direction you wish to go. As you just sort of leap off Llanowar. Actually, that's enough. Yeah, as you leap off, it's quite weird. It's like when you misremember the amount of steps you have. And as you just move yourself over away from the sort of central chute there, you feel like a dropping in the pit of your stomach, and you just go falling over the edge of this sort of protective barrier. And you fall, which I'm going to roll real quick. I imagine you'll probably reduce that by your monk shit, which
Yep.
yeah.
So I reduced fall damage by 50.
By 50. Okay.
Yeah.
So what you feel yourself falling, and then you sort of how do you have like a parachute pants scenario, or do you just have like little kobold wings, or what happens?
I just take it in a superhero landing.
Great. So you
One knee
cannonball
down. Yeah.
Yeah, and you land in just a pile of trash, just discarded. Sort of as you look around, it is dark down here. It is about a foot of water, so about up to your midriff. I think you're about 2'3", 2'4", or something like that. So
2'5".
yeah, so it's about up to your chest. And the rest of it is just piles of discarded sort of food. You see the remnants of like crystal bottles and such. Clearly magical waste. There's like old broken apart instruments and science experiments that have just been left to rot down here. It's just a trash heap, really.
Hey guys, I found trash.
Roll me a perception check while you're down there. So you hear over to the southeast of you a sort of shuffling, like a snuffling, like something rooting through the piles of trash. And as you call up to your friends, you hear it grow just a little bit louder.
But I can't see it yet.
Well, it quickly. Well, yeah, actually. Yeah, no, with your 14, you don't quite see it. You definitely do see, however, a large pile of trash moving in your direction. and as you watch, as it gets ever closer still, you see dunk, 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 3 sort of tentacles fly out the top of it.
Where is he?
Yeah. And with one of these tentacles, it sort of shifts a pile of trash in its way out of the way, and you find yourself facing a rather large Otyugh. Well, it would be larger than that. It's an Otyugh, but much larger than the ones you've seen before. What do you do? Just as you call up to your friends, we'll cut back to your friends actually first. So we'll give you a second to think about that.
Yep.
I don't know quite what's going on here. What should we do? He walked off that way and just disappeared down.
You said something about finding some trash?
Yes. But if it's a case of he disappeared pretty damn fast from the looks of it. I don't fancy falling. I'm not quite a bird. I don't know what went wrong there. I was going for an eagle and somehow ended up as a hyena. So I'm not entirely sure if this is what your friend has done is...
It sounds like it's that toxin that's affecting magical abilities we can perform.
Yeah.
Have you had any problems yet?
None yet.
When I
But
mentioned Lord earlier, it paralysed me for a minute.
Yes, I think we should. How's it going down there?
So while your friends are just chatting, this massive pile of trash that's on top of this massive Otyugh. Think Tamatoa if you've seen Moana, like the giant crab.
yeah.
It looks, it's kind of like that. It's just covered in. As you look up at it, yeah, some nice trash. There's like a crystal skull that's resting up there. There's
Great
like
Indiana Jones.
there's like a sword. There's like a sword that's buried deep in the trash that you can see. There's definitely like an arcane, like a bright side force blaster up there from the level 6 laser tag place. So that's buried up there as well. And as it just moves towards you, what are you doing? It's looming above you. Your tiny little form.
I am just moving back towards these guys, but I'm pulling out my gem of brightness, and I'm saying, "Ha, shiny!" And I'm shooting a second command, which is a bright brilliant beam of light with a creature 60 feet of me, DC 15 Constitution check, or gets blinded for a minute.
All right. What was the con save?
Yep.
14, and it's got a plus to its con modifier. Don't know why it
Look
rolled the 8 afterwards. You watch as it just washes over it. It refracts, in fact, off the crystal skull on
like a
its
disco ball.
on its back. Yeah, and you hear a voice from on top of this Otyugh go, "Whoa, that's cool! Oh my god, what the hell? What?" And then you see this sort of furry little face poke its head over the edge of the trash monster. "Hey, did you do that?" It's got it's almost like a bandit-like face. It's got a small little button nose. It's got like these wide cheeks that sort of floof out in, and it is dark, obviously, so you can barely make out the color. But it's like black and grey. Maybe you're fairly certain there's white patches around its face. Around its eyes is definitely black. It's got these tiny ears. On its head, there's a tiny little like a Robin Hood style hat with a little feather sticking out of it, and sheathed on its hip is just like a little dagger that it must use as a sword. Gee, did you make that?
Oh, it was through the crystal skull. It was amazing. Did you see it?
Yeah, I saw it.
Can we try again?
Yeah, sure. Here, I'll grab the skull. Dives back in the pile of trash, roots around, pulls out the skull and a really, really nice looking. Well, the skull, as you can see here now, as it holds, it looks really, really well carved. Possibly some sort of precious gem it might be carved from. Maybe not glass. And definitely not arcanite though.
Whilst he's doing that, can I start padding sort of down in his direction to try and judge where the edge is? I don't know.
Yeah, everyone up there. You can move your figures if you want.
I don't
just
know why.
In a direction.
I basically just want to find where the edge was, where he fell, at sort of what point he is by pulling forward.
It is 25 foot, so 5 squares.
So
is over the edge. And just so you know, Glack, once you fell off and you tried to back away, it's not like a wall. It just appeared to be a platform 30 feet up in the air. So fairly quickly, your companions. Does everyone want to head down to where Glack is, or do you just want to sort of stand on the edge? I realize top-down display isn't great when we don't have different levels.
Yeah, I'm padding to see where the fall is, because he disappeared pretty quick, so I don't want to fall myself.
Cool. I will draw that very quickly. 2, 3, 4, 5.
I'm just going to be using the first command word, so it's just bright light for 30 and then dim for another 30, but just so we get the rainbow effect from the skull.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I like that.
It's kind of why I'm sort of padding forward. I just want to see what... I want to see if my perception's going to be able to see this
There we go.
going on.
It's dark.
Do y'all see that?
Yeah.
So
Oh, cool.
I'll pad sort of to about the edge. And obviously when one of my paws start sort of not feeling anything, to sort of stop there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hey, you got people up there? The little hairy figure, about the size of you, actually, maybe slightly shorter, Pizzazz, but the angle kind of skews it, makes him appear slightly taller. You hear that, buddy? We got company. The rather large Otia goes in a happy you feel kind of way. Yeah, he holds up the crystal, and the rest of you see just occasionally these flashes of light ricochet off this crystal in this small furry creature's hand, just as you sort of stand on the edge of the platform that's 30 foot up in the air.
Are you okay down there? What's with the light show?
We've made a discotheque.
I don't know what that is, but it sounds cool. Discotheques. Are they like a thing? Can we have them?
Somewhere you go to dance.
Oh, let's dance.
It's like fighting, but less punching.
Ah, all right. Yeah, doesn't really seem. I reckon we kind of like dancing, huh, boy? Yeah. She likes the idea of dancing. Anyway, who are you? What are you all doing down here? Well, you guys are still up there. Do you want to come down, maybe? So
All they'll see is the hyena head sort of poking over the edge, giggling a bit because it's probably involuntary.
oh shit!
Oh,
Never seen
don't
one
worry.
of you before.
That's just a druid. It's fine.
Yeah, I know about druids. Yeah.
Like, do you know? Oh, let me ask. Do you know a person called Dion?
Dion.
Oh, Dion, come to the
Roll.
edge.
Roll history. Dion. Yeah, the name rings a bell. All these he gestures around at like a large pile of scrolls. Is Dion some sort of god figure or something? There's a lot of scrolls keep getting chucked down here, and all of them say Dion must thee. Don't know what that means, but yeah, essentially there. As you look around, he begins sort of pointing you in the direction, but there are a number of scrolls that say Dion must die.
This is where your guys dumped all his vengeance letters.
Do you think?
Pizzazz, as you look over the edge, you can even see what looks to be an old sort of broken apart bit of stone carved in the shape of a large mouth, which how all the other magic mouths have appeared throughout the maze. Yeah, look, you guys want to come down? It feels weird having to ask.
I can't.
How do we get down?
I'm
Oh,
the
you
one
could jump.
I'm the one who can't respond. All he would hear was
I'm going to drop another detect magic scroll to see if there's anything coming from that stone mouth.
There's like a flickering of magic.
Anything
Just-
else in Flash Compact?
There's a couple of potion bottles, a few pings from like magical trinkets, but nothing major. The creature, the Otyugh, looks slightly magically enhanced as well, and the dagger that the critter, the little hairy person's wearing, looks to be magical as well.
Oh, sorry, the headpieces. Try and get that dagger off him. It seems to be magical.
Can I try and feed the Otyugh some pocket chicken?
you just carry around pocket chicken.
Yeah, pocket chicken, baby.
You can try. I'll let you roll me. I love this idea. You can roll me an animal handling check.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you get close enough to sort of like stroke the side of the Otyugh, who makes this pleasing sort of sound. Don't know if the microphone picked that up.
Yeah.
But yeah, you pull out this chicken, and it's sort of its nose sniffs in that direction. I need you to make me a dexterity check, please, with advantage since you succeeded on the animal handling. As it sort of whips out at you, and you just drag your hand back. Yeah, you manage just fine to not have your hand bitten off. Wait, what is it with me and hands getting ripped off?
It's a bit worrying.
Yeah, I
anyone
harbor no ill will because one of my characters got their hand ripped off as well.
Does anyone have a rope? Tie it round me and then maybe shimmy down?
I've got a rope.
Belnan pushes you.
With his one arm.
Roll me an athletics or acrobatics check.
An athletics or acrobatics check?
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be a contested strength? You have to see if he pushes me in the first place.
Yeah, that's why I'm rolling strength. It's very low because his Ogres of Gauntlet power aren't working because one of them is currently in a black hole.
Well,
so there you go. That's your DC. DC is 5.
And I have to roll against it with what check again? Athletics?
It's a strength check.
Strength check.
Which for a hyena I think is like +3 or something.
Yeah.
So don't roll a 1.
I'm just gonna roll a 20 on here.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
6.
Actually, this might matter, so let me look up real quick what Belnan's strength is.
6.
I'll be honest, I thought you'd roll higher. Yeah,
6.
no, he is a flat 10, so luckily the 6 beats his 5. Yeah. Oh, I tell you what though, he's gonna use cutting words to make sure you fail.
What? Right?
So
I don't think his character is that petty towards me. To be honest, and he's not.
All right.
He's kind of.
Okay.
Alex does say he plays his character as a very on mission kind of person, so I don't think
Alex isn't here, so
yeah, but you still have to play him to the character.
Grumble.
You can't just make him play against his character.
Okay.
Who's
All
the
right.
DM?
I know, but still, that's
It's fine. He pushes a shoulder in, and then you just step away. He falls over the edge, and he does his own monk stuff to combat it. Lands beside you.
yes, I'm not a monk. I can't just fall like that.
Yeah, well, you're a big sack of hit points, though.
I'd rather not right now. I will allow everyone else to use a rope and get down there. If
All right, yeah.
anything
Quick enough. Yeah, you just sort of stand up there, and everyone shimmies down. But you and you alone are still up there. It's quite lonely.
I know. Now, how do I get myself down there?
How high is it?
It's 30 feet, so
It's only 30 feet, yeah.
I mean, you're a giant hyena.
But I'm trying to keep it as healthy as I could. Okay, I'm gonna jump. I'm going to sort of.
You should be agile.
I'm going to try and sort of thingy myself over the edge, so I go sort of.
Shimmy down with your paws.
I'm gonna try and dig my. See if there's anything to dig my claws and sort of slowly scrape down to the bottom, if at all possible.
Okay, roll me an acrobatics check.
Okay.
With the hyena's dexterity.
Yes.
What is it? +2?
+2.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I roll a d20.
Yep. Go for it.
You
You
got
realize fairly quickly that because you begin to fall, you realize fairly quickly that this is a sort of Tensor's floating disc scenario. So that once you scramble over the edge,
there's nothing to dig
my
my finger.
There is nothing there, and you just feel yourself begin to fall away. I'll let you roll a dex save to stay on the thing if you want. Otherwise, you're going over.
I think I sort of committed to the going over and not knowing.
All right.
So I'm falling.
All right. Take 13 points of damage as you land in a large pile of trash.
Right.
However, you have overcome the obstacle that is a disc that I thought would take maybe 20 seconds before you all decided, let's jump over in Featherfall. But never mind.
None of us have Featherfall.
Clearly not. But yeah, you all sort of land now, and you're there. Yeah, there's this large Otyugh with this furry little person on top of it. It's just sort of chatting to you in common. So yeah, what are you doing down here?
We fell.
Well, I can see that, but why are you down here in this
we're helping
general
this guy.
place?
We're helping Dion. He needs help.
I'm
He's very weak.
Dion.
Wait, you're Dion?
That's correct.
Oh my goodness! You're famous around these parts. There's always grumbling, you know, like that stone face over there used to grumble your name occasionally.
Yes, we've been seeing a lot of those faces recently.
Well, it talks about that one talks about traps and tricks and shit like that. You know. Feel
Yes,
free.
we know.
Well, it's saying your name, and if you want to ever listen to it, you just walk up and touch it. Magic's kind of on the fritz, though. But it can't be the only reason you're down here. What?
Tim,
What do you want?
Yeah, why don't you see what that one says?
Can I insight this guy because he keeps asking us this?
Yeah, go for it.
19.
He seems a genuinely curious sort. Like he has a child's sort of
Naivety?
knowledge of the world. Yeah. And with that insight as well, you get the sense that it is not a humanoid. There's just something about the manner in which they talk. There's something up. But it's not really possible to tell. A, from this distance, and B, from the fact that you're in darkness. Well, you're in the hole now, so like I don't know. I don't know what to suggest. How to get up.
How long have you been in the hole?
Oh, I lived here. Well, what even is time? You know. Me and Gritty, we've been down here for well, since I was ever since I could talk. We've been down here together, you know.
Have you ever tried to get out?
I mean, we kind of like it down here. There's all sorts of treasure comes down. Occasionally, you know, people come down. So you know,
the people that come
not
down.
you guys. The people who come down and attack me and Gritty, yeah, they gotta die. And then we take all their treasures and we eat them. You want some jerky, by the way? That's rude of me. First rule of being a host: you always make sure your guests are fed and watered. So yeah. Is there anything I can get you? We got jerky. We got. I mean, I say water. It's blood.
Someone asked him which direction those scrolls have been coming in from, if he can even know where they came from. I can't exactly right now, unless he understands hyena.
Yeah, I do. I do.
Oh crap!
I understand a lot of languages. My old master, I guess you'd call her, gifted me with the ability to speak a bunch of languages.
Oh, so I can talk right now to you.
Yeah.
Do you know where those scrolls came from? Or did you see where they come from? Or were they just there?
Yeah, no doy. They came from all the dead adventurers. That's why they're up here. Why? You're not. That's not why you've come down here, is it? To steal all our stuff?
No.
No, you can keep all that.
The person
good.
The person who's been writing those scrolls is the one we're after.
Oh, those scrolls. No, I thought you meant these magic scrolls.
No.
No, it's the ones about Dion must die.
Ah. Wait, that's what it says? I thought it said D. I've only ever seen that word written.
No, it's Dion.
Alright. Well, if you gotta die. Wait, why you gotta die?
This person...
I don't know. Somebody wants to kill me for some reason.
Lots of people want to kill other people. Like Willow always used to say, there's always some fool out there who wants to kill you.
You know Willow.
And
Willow.
well, yeah, Willow made me what I am. She found me in the woods as a cub and awakened me, and gifted me with all sorts of languages and such.
Oh, now I get to.
And as he moves forward, he picks up a little rock, and it lights up, and you can see clasped in these tiny little black fingers is a raccoon face. Yeah.
I know.
Hey.
I know that spell.
All right. Yeah.
You made rock.
And I know Willow.
Quiet.
She's a very nice lady and a very fellow druid.
I mean, she kicked me out, but you know, she started to go a little loopy in the upstairs department
When?
a few months ago. She always kept me a secret. You know, it was her. I was her secret weapon and that sort of stuff. Like, I would infiltrate places because they never expect the raccoons. You know. Yeah, we're just little critters who feast on trash. To them.
Oh, hopefully none of my stuff in that area caused you any problems.
What do you mean your stuff?
Oh,
I don't know. I don't meet many giant hyenas. You know.
I'm a druid as well. I kind of stay up on that level too.
Wait, not the cow-looking guy who made all the copies of himself, the vain guy who stole the key from Willow.
Huh? No, I didn't steal any key from Willow.
She was grumbling about it. Though she did a lot of grumbling before I left.
I believe it's some other people I know who stole the key, but it has been returned.
All right.
Much to their dislike, but I do like to staying on that level, and I'd like to get back there someday.
Well, aside from, shooting the breeze, we if you want to get back there, you can't stay down here for us. So why don't you fly out? You know?
Well, for some reason, when I tried to turn into an eagle, I turned into this. I don't know why.
Maybe you're not as good a druid as you think.
Magic seems to be getting affected some weird way here, or maybe that's your friend Dion.
Dude, you're talking to a raccoon who's sitting on top of a huge Audiog.
Can we see the hole in the ceiling still, or any kind of exit?
It's still up there. It looks like a, not a pinprick, but it's still like there's a tunnel up there, for sure.
Okay. Then, can I run up the walls towards it?
As you head for the walls and begin to climb up, the raccoon says, "I wouldn't do that if I was you." Right before you feel a plate give way beneath your foot. I need you to make me a dexterity saving throw, please.
Okay.
As this gout of flame shoots out of the wall, you just backflip. You do monk stuff. You land down in the pile of trash again. You take no damage, actually, because you have evasion. Great. You activated the flame traps. Fantastic. Don't run up the walls.
Then how do we get out of here?
Maybe if you look around this place, you might find something. I don't know. There's all the things people throw away you wouldn't believe. I'm just gonna root through this pile here. Come on, Gritty. And they. If there's anything else you need, just ask. And they move over to the corner from whence they came.
Okay.
And begin to root around in the trash over there.
Does anyone's magical flying things work, or are they still being suppressed?
I don't have a contest my burn. Pizzazz pulls his broom out of his bag of holding and see if it floats.
As you say the command word, it comes to life, sprouts arms, and sort of just stands there. It has 2 buckets, seemingly from nowhere. Yep. It just seems to stand there waiting for a command.
I command it to fly.
It throws the water in the buckets on you. And then turns back into a regular broom.
I swear in Gnomish and then prestidigitation myself dry.
Oh.
So, does that answer your question?
Nope. I mean, I can try and drop this form and try the eagle again, but if it gone
There's
haywire,
no guarantee that you won't be anything worse.
it's gone haywire once. I don't see it. This place, or this whatever your friend's done to us, this is frustrating beyond belief. You hear some genuine frustration in Lan that you've not ever really heard from him.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Belnan begins to sort of move off and rip through some trash.
What, looking for a new hand?
Conflict.
That's not a bad shout, actually. Hold on, let me roll for it. No, he doesn't find a new hand, but he does sort of pull out an old spell scroll, or half of one. The top half, to be exact. He says, "Look at this. I can't make head nor tails of it, but Pizzazz, can you read what it says?"
What language is it in?
It's in Arcane, so it's a wizard spell.
Yeah, I can read it.
It says reverse gravity.
This might be fun.
Oh.
It's only half a spell, though, right? We'd need the other half, wherever that is.
Oh god, that's what I did earlier.
Is my detect magic still up?
As I mentioned before, there are a number of items scattered around this room. There's a fair few on the back of the whatchamacallit, the Otiug. The dagger, obviously, in the belt of the raccoon is magical. A few other things dotted here and there around the room.
I doubt that they would put half a scroll on the Otiug. It's just paper to them.
Mm.
So let's do a quick search around the.
I'll help with an investigation.
It's going to go to the Otiug just to check, just in case, and also to try and buy the crystal skull.
Okay, yeah. Everyone else. Oh, yeah. Well, Lanwar, you're just sniffing through the place. You find a lot of discarded pocket bacon, which you just tear into. But directly below that, in a pile, there's like a sort of bundle of arrows, which is strange to find down there. There's maybe 5 left in this sheath. Quiver, rather.
I will hand the bundle of arrows over to Dion.
Pizzazz, you find, with a dirty 20, you find another couple of spell scrolls. No other half of the reverse gravity spell, however. But you do find a scroll of hypnotic pattern.
Cool.
And one of protection from projectiles. Which essentially would give you resistance from ranged attacks. You guys, is there anything else? Dion, what are you doing? You've been quiet.
I'm thinking.
Probably go Bell and F for Black. Okay, well you keep thinking. But these arrows look very finely made, by the way. Tips of them are a strange greenish material, which you've
Is it
seen
a
rarely,
material that I recognize?
Now this would be what would you reckon? Probably. Yeah, actually, it'd be a luck roll to see if you'd encountered this. Oh, actually, no. You know what? You have encountered it. It is a certain thing, but roll me an Arcana check to see if you actually recognize it. Or would it be? Yeah, it's just intelligence, which is the same. Yeah, this greenish material is. I mean, it's much smaller, and it's clearly only like tipping the arrows. But it's remarkably similar to the metal that you've seen Bragg's armor made of.
Alright.
It's adamantine.
Okay.
Adamantine arrows.
Adamantine arrows. Which you are aware ignores adamantine armor. So if you crit with one of these, it does the crit damage because
That
adamantine
penetrates it, yeah.
Yeah, essentially, yeah.
It nullifies it, I should say.
Yeah. But Glack, you wander over to the Otyugh, who you know is called Gritty, and the raccoon, whom you've not asked the name of, and who doesn't seem to care to ask you yours.
Hello.
The Otyugh sort of rounds on you. Oh, hey! What's going on?
Hello. Just two questions. Firstly, do you have half a sheet of spell scroll with reverse gravity?
I don't know what most of those words mean.
Do you have a bit of paper?
Well,
That's
we
ripped.
we got tons of paper. Some of it's ripped. Why? What's it worth to you?
I mean, the right bit of paper could be worth something, but more importantly, what is the skull worth to you?
Ah, the skull. The skull's my shiny thing. It's like I keep it up on top of Gritty, and it's tied in place so people know that I'm a guy who has treasure. You know,
I see this. Yes.
it's a hood ornament. Yeah, it's made of this really hard crystal, and he sort of pings it, and it's ding. It's crystal clear. This sound, pretty cool.
Are you willing to trade for it or to sell it?
I have no use for money or anything, but if you were to trade me one of your shinies, I can get other crystal skulls. I've seen a couple of them. None of them as shiny as this one. But if you were to give me that shiny orb you had before, and something else to sweeten the pot, and I'll go look for the scrolls that you're after. I got a whole bundle of them.
I can give you my shiny orb. But I have something as well. And
All right.
I'm going to take off one of my rings. Like, you see, your friend Gritty, he can swim real fast.
No, he can run pretty fast. He's kind of afraid of the water.
Well, but are you afraid of the water?
I mean, I don't like getting my fur wet.
Because I have a ring of swimming that'll make you real fast in the water to look for new treasure. Treasure you haven't seen before.
We could look underneath the water.
Yeah.
Oh shit, son.
Under the sea.
Just appreciating
the treasure.
Just appreciating the strangeness of a raccoon saying, "Oh shit, son." All right.
So
we'll say the shiny thing in the ring for the skull, and something else if I got the spell scrolls that you're looking for.
Essentially, you're turning him into the Little Mermaid.
I have no issue with this.
All right. You pass up the shiny rock and the ring. He slips it on his finger. God, looks real cool. Hey,
Give it a swim. Give it a swim.
no, I'll do that after. I'm gonna search for these scrolls.
Okay.
He hands you down the crystal skull, which it's heavier than you imagined, and seems very sort of dense for its size. As you look into its empty eye sockets, you see it's strange. It's almost like a flickering of flame, but just the slightest flickering, and it's not brightness. It's just the tiniest little spark. And while you sort of look into it, it looks into you.
Then it sees its future as a spinning disco light.
I really hope not, given what it's worth and what it is. But Ricky, the raccoon, climbs out of a small sort of hatch in Gritty's sort of back hoard of trash, and comes up to you with a small like backpack filled with like it's clearly a wizard's sort of satchel, rather, that's got various scroll tubes in it. We found all of these, and in various places. There's papers and stuff inside. They looked cool. The writings on them, I can't understand them, but yeah. If I could find someone who did,
I can't either. That's why we have gnomes. Pizzazz!
I was waiting for that.
So gnomes to you, that's they like your servant or something?
No, he's just real good at reading, and I'm not.
Okay.
I'm good on my ABCs, but when it gets to D, it gets a bit rough.
I totally get it. You know, I totally get it.
As Pizzazz walks over, he says, "That's what she said."
You'd like the goblins. Willow used to hate the goblins. You like the goblins.
My sister's met the goblins on level 5. She didn't say they were that nice.
Well, you know, it takes one to know one, I guess. Hands over a satchel full of scroll tubes. Now, if you do find the right one, what are you gonna give me for it?
What do you want for it?
Something
Depends if
nice.
you find the right one first.
Yeah, I trade for it.
Let me have a look to see if I can find what I'm looking for, and then we can work out a deal.
All right. So what?
I know what I've got to offer.
Okay. All right. Well, you find the following spell scrolls, just sort of cast away. You find one of Cause Fear. You find one of Fog Cloud. You find Arcane Lock and Flock of Familiars. You find Erupting Earth and Glyph of Warding. Hope you're writing all these down. You find one of Ego Whip. Ego Whip, EGOWHIP. And one of Storm Sphere. There's also one called Steel Wind Strike. One that's called Otto's Irresistible Dance. And finally, there is a very soggy and very sort of beaten up half of the bottom half of a reverse gravity scroll.
Cool.
Any of these what you're looking for?
I mean, this one is. Pizzazz will hold up the soggy one and say, "This is what I'm looking for. The rest of these, they're just paper. I'll just stick this into my bag."
Sorry, could you say that again? You kind of cut off at the end there
Sorry.
for me.
Hold up the soggy bit of paper, say, "This is what I'm looking for. The rest of these are just paper. I'll just take these off you and put them in a bag, see if I can find something useful for them later on."
No, they're definitely not paper.
No, they've got writing on it.
Yeah, they got strange writing on it.
Yeah, it's just.
Well, even
doodles.
an idiot can see the spell scrolls.
Can I do a deception? See if I can try to talk them away.
See, he knows that they're spell scrolls because he knows enough about them. It's more you're, I guess, trying to. Yeah, you can't really succeed on saying they're just paper. Maybe.
Right. Okay. They're not just paper. They're low-level spells, like cantrips.
They're no use to you.
Yeah, they're no use to you.
Okay, make a deception check then. At that point. Okay. No use. Suppose I can't really read them. What do you give me for them? You got to give me something, because they're part of my collection. I want something from them, especially the one that the scrap. The scrap's one that you needed.
Yeah. Hang on, let me have a look.
Unfortunately, I'm going to have to revert form to do this. I will revert back to being a druid at this point. And he will see me as my Furbog form.
You're shorter than I thought you'd be.
I have with me something that might prove of useful to either if you drink it or your friend drinks it.
Oh.
If you come into a problem with something rather heavy and you want to move it.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Though that could be that stash of intrigue and all I found in 8 earlier.
I have a potion of frost giant strength.
I mean, I was going to offer them a clockwork bird, but fine.
I will.
Yeah, it needs to be something that is very rare or equivalent. Is what they'll take, unless you succeed on some sort of persuasion check, maybe, or make a valuable argument for giving it more of weaker stuff.
I mean, the strength potion will help you move any of the awkward trash that you out of your way or stuff for a little while.
I mean, I got lots of potions. I got red potions, I got blue potions, I got black potions.
How about you let me have a look at the potions and I can tell you what they do? Save you some hassle of not actually having to drink something and then feel weird or.
And that's including that frost giant potion you were saying?
Yes, I will let you know what these potions are, so you can better use them to your advantage rather than just blindly drink things.
Make a persuasion check.
Okay. Action.
See if it's another crit. Jeez.
Yeah, my persuasion's not that great.
Nope.
Not kidding.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of pluses to persuasion. Can I burn my inspiration to...
Yes, I'll let you burn an inspiration.
Can I give guidance?
I'm a kind and benevolent DM. Okay, what's the roll on the guidance? This could make or break it.
Okay, so a D4.
Yep.
Need a 2.
Oh.
Hey.
So had you not rolled that, I'm just going to tell you he would have asked for something a little bit more. But with the 20, he looks you up and down. You're a druid, right? And you're a furbog, so you can't lie. That's like part of your thing, right? Isn't it? Furbogs can't lie. I had heard that. Yeah.
Don't lie, because I'm a good person, and I'm an alchemist and a druid, so I would rather you stay safe than drinking random potions. Professional courtesy.
Great. He spits on your hand and grabs it and shakes it. We have a deal then.
All right.
You can have the scrolls.
I give you the potion bottle, and we'll start identifying the potions for him.
Mm-hmm. There are 2 superior healing potions here. There is 1 potion of invisibility. There is a potion of each kind of resistance. And there is 1 potion that isn't a potion at all. It's an oil, in fact. It's like it's like a clear sort of gelatinous oil. But as you hold it up and sort of shake it, it's sort of cut with these tiny little ultra thin silver shards. You recognize it as an oil of sharpness, a very rare potion that gives +3 to attack and damage for weapons that are coated in it.
Yes, I would really advise not drinking this. This is a weapons oil.
Oh, all right.
So if you ever find yourself in a pinch, this is probably a good thing to wrap. Or maybe even drink this. This will make you invisible. And I will just sit and tell him what they all do and make sure that he understands what ones do what. And
you're not trying to deceive him in any way, or
no? It's basically I take my job as a potion person pretty serious, and he's been helpful for us and kind of my
awesome.
good nature. I just kind of like I've gone into super sales pitch person and just going, yes, this does this and that does that, and that's a really good.
Yeah. Yeah, and essentially, he thanks you. He lets you have all the scrolls that I mentioned, Ben, which you could either put in your spellbook or just use as scrolls, really. Flock of Familiars you might want to put in your book, and I'll let you know what all the other ones do after the session. So you now have 2 halves of the scroll. Does anyone have mending?
Unfortunately not.
No.
This character, no.
Just gonna very quickly look at Bellman's sheet, just to make sure. He doesn't have it either. So you reckon you could possibly cast it, but its effects might not last, and they might have different effects then, since you're casting it from 2 halves of a spell scroll. You could like glue it together or staple it together or something like that.
And it would take me a while to essentially transfer onto a new scroll, wouldn't it?
It would take a lot of time. Time that you really don't have.
Damn it. It's okay. Mending is something I could have learned as a cantrip, but I've not learned that as a cantrip.
Yeah. It's a very underrated cantrip.
Yeah.
Can we use a spell scroll to cast a cantrip if it's something within my
Capabilities.
If
magical?
you've got a, if
I
you've
will
got a
allow
scroll,
you. Yeah, I will allow one person to roll a fate die to see if there is a random spell scroll of mending buried somewhere deep in a bag of holding.
Right. Who wants?
Can clerics only change their spells on a long rest,
Yes.
or can they do it on a short rest?
It's a long rest, but no one can change their cantrips. Those are spells that you learn.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. Well, then that's a shame.
Yeah.
so 19 on the luck dice.
Oh, how wonderful. There is not only a spell scroll of mending that you didn't know about. There is a spell scroll of greater mending. You are fairly certain that ordinary mending wouldn't work on a spell scroll, and if it did, it would maybe half the length of the spell, the duration, half. It would do something to it. At the end of the day, it's a magic item that has been partially destroyed or corrupted. With enhanced mending, what did I call it originally?
Greater mending.
Greater mending. It's a first level ritual, and it can essentially be used to do things like repair large cracks in ships' hulls or reattach bits of masts, building work. That it's what was used to that and fabricate to sort of patch the hole that the Hezru made all those weeks ago, all those like last year actually. Now at this point, for you guys, it's up to you which one you use.
It would be nice to transfer greater mending into a spell book, but at this point, needs must, and
you can always buy a new scroll of it.
Yeah.
Well, I'll help them cast that because
it's more of a single person job. It does take 10 minutes though, so this will put us over another half hour. So you've got 1 hour left before your neurotoxin does some serious damage. And after that 10 minutes casting that spell, you hold in your hand a whole spell scroll, still ragged, still slightly rotted, still water damaged, but back together.
I mean, I would have prestidigitationed it dry, but
oh yeah, it looks good now.
Yeah, but it's still scruffy looking. And...
Yeah,
it's kind of scruffy looking.
Yes, I kind of cast that spell earlier.
I will, because you're so intelligent, Pizzazz. You're aware that if you were to go into the middle of the room and cast this, you would probably whack into the shield that's there, the Tensor's kind of disc. You need a way to get up there, but your flying seems to be out. Very quickly, however, seeing you struggling, the Ricky and Gritty, the raccoon and the Otyugh, volunteer to chuck you up there if you want.
all right.
To sort of grab onto you and just hoik you up into the air. It might take them a couple of tries, they do mention.
Well, if they chuck me up first, I can lower down the rope.
Great. Let's roll for them here.
I've got one more dimension door that I could do.
Now, save the dimension door, you might need it.
It takes them 2 tries, but you very easily just sort of monk land when the first one doesn't work, really. You land, they try again, you land, you tie a rope off and sort of drop it over both sides. And people just climb up the rope one at a time. And you're free to cast the spell.
This is going to be interesting.
To say the least.
Did
I believe her
Gritty and Rizzy climb up as well? Or?
Who?
The raccoon and Otyok.
To make sure.
Do you want them to come with you?
I'll ask them if they want to.
I mean, what? Like, why? We got a pile of trash down here. Like, granted, we've picked a lot of it clean, but
I mean, have you
Wait
ever
for
heard
something better?
Yeah, have you ever heard the fable of the frog at the bottom of the well?
no.
Frog lives in the bottom of the well all its life. Looks up, all it can see is a tiny circle of the sky. That's its whole world. One day it climbs out, finds out the whole world is much, much bigger than it thought.
I think he already knows that. He has been to Willow's.
You want to go on another adventure, Gritty? He says, "Yeah." He says, "Yeah." Don't ruin this for me. I guess I'm going on an adventure. The Otyug chucks the guy. Come on, Gritty.
This is a very Scooby-Doo moment.
Eventually, the Otyug sort of grabs onto the edge of the disc with its long tendrils and hoiks itself up. It takes half an hour.
Half an hour.
3 times 10 minutes. Oh no, wait, hold on. That's 30% of an hour. It takes 20 minutes. My bad.
So we've got 40 minutes before this end kicks in.
You guys wanted to wait for them.
The anti-gravity would fucking wake them up with us.
But yes, you activate the scroll. I'm going to need, because you're not level 13 yet, Ben, I'm going to need an Arcana check. And I tell you what, Belman would probably use a Bardic Inspiration at this point, so add a d6.
If you wanted to pass it to me, I could probably cast it.
It is a wizard spell scroll.
Damn.
It is written in arcane rather than nature stuff.
So, even though I would know how to... Oh, I don't think I need it.
Yeah. You're very aware of this. You've just watched Llanowar cast it.
Oh, God.
And you cast it, and suddenly you yourselves aren't moving, but you feel a rumble on the disc below you. Gritty the Otyug makes a sort of whining sound, but Ricky, who's standing beside it, sort of strokes one of his stumpy legs there, because it's got 3 stumpy legs, because Otyugs, and you shoot straight up in the air like a disc on top of a geyser rather. You shoot up towards the entrance, and you fly a little bit into the ceiling before you begin to fall back down again towards the hole.
Can I make a perception check to see if I can see an edge of somewhere else that we can get to?
Oh, interesting. Roll perception.
God damn.
There is you've actually flown up probably around to the top area of the top of the wall, which you'll remember Glack couldn't climb all the way up earlier. but you manage to see that you're quite near the center, over towards the northeast, the northwest rather. Looks to be a large sort of shielded box. And you register this just as you begin falling back down again. There's nothing around that you can sort of grab onto. You're within grabbing distance of yourself. As Ricky pulls out a small wand. I found this. It shoots stuff at things. It can be used as like a hammock. It's pretty cool. I can catch us.
Spiderweb.
Everyone grab onto each other. Everyone grab onto Gritty.
Everyone hug Gritty.
Yep. You all grab onto Gritty. And Ricky? Yeah. I should have picked different names. Casts web at the surrounding area below you and sort of affixes this webby tangle of mess to the base of the area. You are out of the pit, the trash compactor, as I've called it.
Is the Minotaur there?
The Minotaur is not there.
This is good.
I don't think we've got long now.
Well, we're gonna get out of here while we can. If you ever need help again, you know.
We appreciate all your help.
I mean, I'm not gonna give you like a magic flute that can summon us or anything like that, because I don't know. Not sure such a thing exists.
You may find one.
There are spells that we can cast if we need to get a hold of you.
Cool. I'll definitely remember it's you guys.
Be forewarned, it will be inside your head.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. Thanks for getting us out of there. I know Gritty wouldn't admit it, but he's gonna miss you guys. Well,
I throw some more pocket chicken.
oh yeah, it's snatched out of the air. Hey, this thread that's here. Do you reckon if we follow that, we'll get out?
Oh. You've been still leaving that thread everywhere? How much thread do you have?
I do a lot of knitting, and I don't need to explain myself to you.
I'm not expecting you to explain anything. I'm just very impressed you have that much with you.
I mean, I'm just glad that the Minotaur's not smart and hasn't followed it.
Yes. Is it all the same color?
Oh no,
Yeah.
definitely not.
Well, we're gonna head. Nice to meet you. Come on, Grady, let's get the hell away from these chumps.
Bye.
Bye. So that's Rocket and Groot, or their non-copyright infringement pals Gritty and Ricky.
Literally, as soon as you said raccoon, I clicked.
Yeah.
You're
getting pretty close to the end, though. Which way?
North or south?
We've not got time to get lost, and I don't think...
If we head south, I can send my Raven north.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Lanwar, you saw that there was a large sort of box, black sort of box towards the middle of the maze, was to the northwest. I'll remind you.
All right.
Or
So I will.
switch that.
Yeah. Sort of large box northwest as I was looking when we were very up there. Whew. I'm glad he had that. Not being able to fly is strange. But still, maybe send your raven or your bird down. So at least if there is something still following us, if it's that way, we at least have a heads up. So head north.
All right.
Yep.
Okay. Eventually, after a little bit of time, you arrive. The place beyond you, as you look around, it's just large walls. There is a passage to the south, but you see off in the darkness just these enormous. It's strange. It's like they're wooden doors, but as you get slightly closer, you can see someone has gone to a lot of trouble to carve these stone doors to look like wood. In the center, there is a keyhole. Oh, that shouldn't have happened.
Okay, who knows knock? Junkrat! We summoned Junkrat!
I mean, I can try to dispel magic on it.
I can probably pick the lock.
Or that, yeah.
I would try picking the lock first.
Can I check it for traps first? Because this is where we went wrong before.
Yes.
As my raven flies south, it sees the demon. And I bamf it away.
You're not in its form. You say you were just sending it south, so it's going to fly back to you and gradually drag the demon. Just to add an element of time crunch to this.
Okay.
You're standing before these massive doors. The darkness seems more absolute than usual here. It's as if time itself is pressing in around you.
Yep.
As you look into the lock, you see another one of those mouths, and as you sort of peek in, it kind of lights up slightly and says, "Welcome to your final test, the bane of every adventurer, everywhere. A locked door." A simple locked door. But I wonder how much time you have left. How much time do you have creeping in those old bones of yours? Open the door and meet your fate. Talk.
I'm going to give.
Can Glide guide himself and pick the lock?
I can give you guidance, so.
Ah, perfect.
I give him
I mean,
guidance.
you can guide yourself. That's no issue.
All right. Roll a lockpicking check.
Yep.
Do you even need
No
the
door
guidance?
shall stand in my way.
No, I won the guidance as well, just to make it 37.
Yeah, the DC was actually 30. Yeah, it was a near impossible one. So yeah.
You're welcome.
Holy shit!
It's like, this lock has been oiled recently. It's real easy.
it does take a little bit of time. Actually, it's not like you look at the lock. It's like someone has purposefully made it to try and slow you down somewhat. But as you hear the footsteps rounding the corner, a little over 400 feet away from you, this Minotaur demon, undead Minotaur demon, still bearing the scars from previous conflicts, rounds the corner. Your bird flapping towards you, tweeting for help. You hear the lock just snap off, and the way on, like the handle can be turned. The final door is right there.
In, everybody!
Everybody get in.
Getting.
Who's pushing open the door, real quick? Was it Glack? Because they are pretty heavy doors.
Glack is going to stand on this end and prepare to meet the Minotaur if he gets close.
Oh,
Who's got
that's
the most?
cute.
Who's got the most strength?
I would have said Belnin, no?
Belnin's
No,
weaker.
Bellman has only 10 strength right now.
I will shape shift into a bear and push those damn doors open.
All right, what kind of bear?
Brown bear.
Brown bear. What CR is that?
It's a CR1.
Cool. Roll me another D10.
It's oh
Make
shit!
it good this time.
I forgot about that.
See if you
God.
become a fucking octopus.
Oh my god!
Just let me know what you roll because I've scrolled up to the thing.
All right, D10.
Yeah.
I got the 10.
All right. So you become.
Congratulations.
You shout out, "Form of a brown." And
Form
you all
of
watch-
a brown bear.
And you all watch as, getting down on all fours, Lanwar just begins to nod as if saying, "Yes, yes, I've got claws. You've got claws. Yes." Your jaw sort of elongates, and your ears sort of retract in and then grow slightly pointed beside yourself. And yes, you're fairly confident. This is definitely a brown bear. The rest of you see Lanwar just become this lithe, athletic figure. Not a brown bear, not at all, but just as hinch, just as muscly. These massive black stripes appear on this orangish and whitish body, and you find yourself looking at a large, furball-esque tiger.
I've turned into a tiger. It's still
Yes,
got pretty
yes, you
good
have.
strength.
It is pretty good strength, actually. You lucked out there. It's not a fucking vulture, or an octopus. That would have been great.
All right.
All right, roll me a strength check with
Plus-
advantage, please, since you're getting help.
Oh my god! Even
12.
yeah, that's a 12 because it's
All right.
plus 3.
It's going to take a round, so he gets one square closer. Anyone want to do anything to help in any way particular? This thing is barreling towards you.
If I've got a round before he gets close, I will help with the door. I've got
Okay.
a strength of 19.
Yeah, I'll let you roll your own strength check with advantage. Anyone else doing anything?
Dirty 20.
As you heave your shoulder against the door, it budges slightly. And from inside the room, or maybe just the crack in the door, you see a crackling. As it's as if a bit of flint strikes a sharp edge. There's just a crackle of lightning.
God, he's trapped the door.
I need... Yeah, it would have been Lanwar. I need Lanwar to make a dexterity saving throw, please.
Okay.
Make it good.
I mean, Tiger should have pretty good dex.
Yeah, you thought it'd been stronger as well.
Mhm.
It's slightly got less dex than me. Oh, it's plus 2.
Go for it.
For fuck's sake, why is the Roll20 hate me right now?
Yeah, as you put both your paws up to help Glack and just edge the door open, you see as it bolts right into your chops a bolt of lightning. It
Okay.
hits you, and you take not bad, 38 points of lightning damage.
So I drop the farm and take 1 point of lightning damage to myself.
But as Lanmar reappears, you see the lightning crackle around his body and split off and strike each of you in the chest. Everyone else, roll me a dexterity saving throw
Feck.
against the chain lightning trapped door.
Oh, 17.
Okay.
15.
All right.
Can't get in
Dion?
my character sheet.
All right.
Clicking on the name and the tag's just coming up.
What, the bio and info? No.
No, I
I'll-
click on my name and over on the board it's got Dion the Kill Stealer. There's a bar. I
Right.
can close that.
Do you want me to roll it for you?
Yeah, because for some reason I can't get in.
Okay.
You definitely. Oh my
Well,
god.
well, that's good for you.
Thanks.
Okay. Well. Oh shit. Well, the DC is for a 6th level spell.
Guess you'll have to roll for fucking
Nah, I wouldn't do that to him.
yeah.
He
ducks into the side of the wall. Enough.
Yeah, he wasn't there. A 6th level spell scroll has a save DC of a 17, so you just make it, Glack.
So no damage for evasion.
Yeah, so you actually leap up in the air. How do you avoid this?
You were the other one who was closest to me, so you.
Yeah, so you just step behind Lanwar.
Yeah. Step behind Lanwar as you get zapped.
Yeah. Pizzazz, unfortunately, you take 42 points of lightning damage unless you have like an absorb elements or something.
Nope.
Dion, you take 21 points of lightning damage.
21.
But the doors, after that initial bit of give, the Minotaur charges again, and the doors are now open. You launch yourselves inside, leaving
I'm
the doors
assuming
open.
I couldn't have counterspelled that.
No, it was a trap on the door.
Yeah.
It wasn't someone casting a spell, I'm sorry. The Minotaur charges forward. You jump inside, and it is pitch black in here. But there's a faint sort of sucking sound, like a whoop, 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 coming from the far end of the cavern.
Mm-hmm.
As you get inside, you hear from above the door, "About time." And as you look up there, you see yet another mouth. As it activates, it seems to trigger the lights. Well, some lights, some strategically placed lights, activating around this room.
Can I quickly grab Pizzazz's shoulder and cast Cure Wounds?
Yeah, go for it. While you're doing that, I'll just keep describing the room. It's mostly empty. It's a fairly sort of rocky terrain, but reminds you very much of like a warehouse. There are beams, borders, pillars around which any kind of creature might be able to hide. Up ahead of you, there's a large sort of ladder that heads up into an awning, kind of like a warehouse or a farmhouse situation. There are crates up there. There are crates stacked here and all around you. But perhaps more concerning than that, you see sort of etched on many different areas. So there's one on a pillar, there's one on a box, there's one on a crate, one on a barrel. More of these magic mouths. And as you sort of edge inside and the lights begin to come up, you hear more of these taunting voices all around you just begin to activate. Could everyone make me a perception check, please? As you just try to keep your head over this sort of this din, really.
Is the door still open?
It is still open. As you throw your elbow against it, you cannot get it closed.
I can get in my character
Unfortunately,
sheet.
no. Well, we'll work that out for next week.
How many scrolls were you going to hand me to use on you?
I mean, I've got 10 in total, so.
You won't have time to use those.
Mm-hmm.
You'll maybe get two out. But everyone continue rolling perception, please. Lanwar and Dion, just roll a d20 from the dice roller.
I'm saying my perception's so bad because I'm trying to close the door.
Yeah, you're not paying attention. You're just frantically trying to move this
What
thing.
the fuck is my rolling? Oh my god. 11 with an actual, my normal perception's like 25 on passive.
That's alright.
God damn.
So 6 plus 6, so 12. So Dion, you alone here, above the noise, whispered, "Swift death to you, my enemies." And then the telltale ping of a bowstring being fired, or released rather, and an arrow being fired. I want everyone to make me a d20 roll, just a flat d20, because I don't want to consign one of yous to death.
The spell scrolls, do they have a lore thingy for healing?
No, it uses your thingamajigger.
Alright, so I'll roll.
But I do need a d20 roll from you, Lanwar. These are good rolls as well. Oh well. Okay,
where?
No. This is great. While you're rolling that, I'm going to very quickly do something and roll all these dice.
As Lanwar dies.
Finally.
That's horrible. It's true, but it's horrible of you all.
At least you acknowledge it.
There's lots more. It's fine.
So you would be surprised. So he's still got to roll to hit you.
There's an R10 for the scrolls.
That is a 19 plus a lot. So he's definitely going to hit you. I need you to make me, Lanwar, a Constitution saving throw, please.
Okay. Please don't bugger me. God damn it. To hell!
This is the best one you've had for a while, to be fair.
That is unfortunately a fail.
Yeah.
So, as Dion, you barely hear "Swift death to all you." Suddenly, Lanwar, you feel a blow like a train hitting you, square in the chest. It nearly knocks you off your feet. In fact, you stumble back. And as the rest of you glance around, you see a quite large, thick arrow. And Dion, you recognize this arrow as the same kind, or a similar kind, certainly fired from the same bow. It's got the same feathers on the end of it.
The arrows we found.
The same arrow that killed the Garistro on your last hunt. and it has just struck Lanwar in the chest, pretty much in the center. And as you reel back, Lanwar, you barely get that out. I'm gonna. This is a lot, so it's 10, 9, 10. Okay. So plus. Plus.
Is this all damage?
Just give me a sec.
That's a yes.
The second one is healing. It's a real weird arrow.
Yeah, it's a really weird arrow. Plus he adds his
Give and take arrow.
plus 7. So 41, 51, 61, 64, 72 plus 7. 72 plus 7 is 79. Doubled because you failed the death strike from the assassin. Which is 158 points of damage, Lanwar.
So,
wait.
As the rest of you...
Does the surprise round count, even though I've got the dagger of warning? And they can't be surprised?
You may have saved my life if that is the case.
Oh, in that case, I lost the dagger. Never mind.
You all watch. You all watch. You can't tell. You can't quite tell at this point whether he's dead or not. But Lanwar barely makes. You don't get a word out. You just gasp. Just a small intake of breath before he crumples to the ground behind you.
So am I still taking all that damage?
Oh, you're definitely out. I'll discuss with you after the session.
Okay.
But as the rest of you, as the magic mouths on the walls all turn to, all turn from whispers of menace and goading, into maniacal laughter, you all hear from behind you, making the last 200 feet towards this door, the Minotaur, the Guristro rather, and you, Dion, hear the telltale knock of another arrow, and that is where we're going to pick up next week.
Oh, wow.
What the fuck? What the fuck is with my rolls tonight?
Thank you all. Thank you all very much for listening. Thank you all very much for playing. Until next week, be careful about charging into rooms. Don't piss people off, and always remember to
Tip your waiters.
dispose of your magical and non-magical waste in a sanitary manner rather than feeding it to an Otyugh. And we'll see you next week. Farewell, my friends. Try and
Bye.
think silently. Bye-bye.